and welcome to the Fat Squirrel Speaks. Today is Thursday, October 24th, and this episode, I'm going to say 84. This episode will only be This episode will be only about Rhinebeck. Well, that's not completely true. It will be about the awesome prizes I'm going to give away next week for the Squirrel It Away SAL. I think the wrong one. And then it will only be about Rhinebeck. And I do mean literally. There will be no knitting or spinning shown today. Because quite frankly, this episode's going to be 75 minutes long, even if I don't talk about knitting and spinning. And I'm doing another episode in like 4 days. So anyway, if you're not interested in hearing about either of those things, I'll see you next time. If you're interested in hearing one or the other, here we go. I think that's what we're doing. Can you tell I thought about this a lot before I recorded? And actually, that sounds sarcastic, but I really did think about it a lot. I feel like I've been totally remiss in thanking all of the prize donators for the Squirrel It Away SAL, because that's a bad thing about a SAL that runs 2 months. It's awesome because you have lots of time to get stuff done. Get it done. I'm closing the prize threads on October 28th in the morning, probably. Maybe it'll be later, but don't take a chance. I might actually be on task. October 28th, which is a Monday. If October 28th is not a Monday, then it means Monday. At 8 a.m. Get your stuff in. So the bad thing about having a 2-month SAL is that I forget to talk about how awesome the prizes are. Because I feel like I don't want to beat it into your face. Because your faces are so pretty, I don't want to beat them. However, the prizes are so awesome, I can't help but tell you about them. So we're going to tell you about them again. Because some new prizes have come in. So here we go. The knotted bag sent you a prize. By the way, I totally met her at Rhinebeck. Her project bags are so... I'm sorry, I'm crinkling. That means good stuff is coming. Her project bags are so lovely, and she's so generous with her face. But also her face is so cute. It's so cute. I'm telling you, if you're cute, I will buy more stuff from you. I'm getting some more bundles. I'm getting knotted bags. Telling you, you gotta make good stuff. If you got a cute face, don't just be putting trash out there. I'll call you out on it. But you make good stuff and you have a cute face. Shut up. So this one's for you. Look, it's all spider webbies and it's a spinning one. So this is for the spinning, for the SAL part. So it's satiny lined, so your fibers don't stick to it. I have one that scrolls on it. I use it all the time. But it has, very October-y themed with spider webs. And if you're afraid of spiders, don't worry. These are totally cute cartoon spiders. I know some of you freaked out at Malia's spidery project bag that she had. Settle. They're 2-dimensional, kids. 2-dimensional. It's okay. I feel like they're even sparkly. Or is that just fiber on there? This is the trick. There's fun. I think they're actually... Okay, yes, that sparkle is actually woven in. I had feared that I had just rubbed some Angelina against this bag, even though it was clearly in tissue paper. But actually the sparkle is woven in, but it just happens to look like fiber, because in fact it is. So yay that. And then also, I have shown this, so I hadn't shown that one before. It would be, yours will not be beautiful like it came to me, because I stink with this sort of zhuzhiness. So then also I forgot about this prize, which was sent to us before by Godiva Yarns. You may have recalled that I bought an insane amount of her fiber because she makes a lot of Falkland, and I love me some Falkland. So this is for you too for the spin along. Okay, then let's talk about all the spin along prizes. We'll recap. These are Into the World. They are from me, but they're for you. Into the World. You let me say anything, right? Then Three Waters Farm sent you this one. It's BFL in her sorbet colorway. The Water Farm always does a beautiful job. It also comes with a wraps per inch gagey thing, not gagey thing, but kind of gagey thing. And some fancy cards, which are at the bottom of this. which I can't see, but I promise they're in there. Then also, Gail's Art, who was also at Rhinebeck, who I didn't get to talk to because she was so stinking busy. It makes me so excited. I just was like, I love you, bye. Because she had so many people in her booth. It was insane. But she sent us this. She sent me one and you one. It's her Superwash Merino, 40% merino, 20% silk, 4 ounce, and fruity undertones. Because she has them. She smells like her fiber. And she smells good. It's true. So isn't that pretty? And it's so soft. It's bonkers. It really is amazingly soft. I know so many talented people. Shush. So exciting. Okay, so then there's also more prizes for the non-SAL. I feel like the SAL may have like totally cleaned up. Sorry, cow people. I'll find you another prize, I promise. I'll totally find you more prizes. Because it's really not fair. But this makes up for it. Look! I don't want to take it out of the package because, again, I stink. But the lovely Erin of Bling Your String, sorry, I just left my head, sent you one of her club. This is lions and tigers and pigs. Oh my! One of her club offerings. So there's that. Lollipop Yarn sent you. Is it Life is Beautiful? No, this one's Lazy Day. But I have a pair of socks out of Lazy Day, and they're gorgeous. Not because I made them, because Lollipop Joan Face made them. And then, oh, here's your things for the Three Waters Farm. You get a Wraps for Inch Gauge like that. Isn't that fancy? Plus a Z-twist, S-twist angle measurer. What's that called? I can't remember all the sessions. Then, ho-ho! For all of you lovers of rainbow self-striping yarn, what up? Query Fibers totally sent you her 10-stripe rainbow self-striping, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. What? Do you see that? I'm not a huge rainbow for myself person. That's pretty stinking impressive. And I've used other of her yarns and they turned out quite well. And I made socks for my Memo out of her yarn, and my Memo thinks that they're good for her arthritis. So guys, made of magic. Not endorsed by the American Medical Association or the Diabetes Association. So those are all the prices. Shush. I'm totally going to add some more knitting prices because really it is not fair. There's so much good spinning stuff. But don't worry, it'll be good. So yay, hats. It'll probably be sock yarn. Like you're like, no. Yes. Okay, so there's all of that goodness. How insane is that? There's a giant Ziploc bag full of goodness from awesome people and their faces. Do you see this? Look at that. Look at all those prizes. We're so lucky. Okay. Rhinebeck. Oh, sorry. I'm going to totally shake the camera. Ooh, ooh. Oh, take a Dramamine. Okay. How do I even begin to talk about it? I have no idea. If you're not interested in Rhinebeck, bye. Because the rest of this is going to be me talking about Rhinebeck and showing you how much ridiculous stuff I bought. It's not that ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. In a great way. Oh! I should have told you this at the beginning to tell you what I'm wearing. It's 1996 in my house, so I'm wearing overalls. And I just... Oh my gosh, I'm so ridiculous. My overalls totally match my t-shirt. I planned that. Look, it's green and then there's green. Overalls. Okay, let's make a pact to bring overalls back because A, that's our slogan right there because that rhymes. A, they're comfy. B, they come in a wide range of sizes. C, they're inexpensive. D, they can be modified with cuteness. E, they have so many pockets for knitters. See, like you have this like zipper pocket up here, which, you know, you could also use for your chaw. That's chewing tobacco. For those of you not in the know. This pocket is huge because it really can fit like a whole thing of Red Man. Or your tobacco of choice. Or it could also fit a pattern. Or an iPhone. Or whatever. If you put your patterns on there. But actually like a paper pattern. A whole paper pattern would fit in here. Easily. Flat. No problem. Then you have like a notions pouch included in your pants. See, you got the little snappy pocket right here. And it's far enough away from your heart that you can safely include scissors without being afraid of dying. Because you know when you put them in your pocket and then they stab you in the leg or in your healthy tummy, if you're me. This is much less likely to stab you because it's like out at the front and it doesn't bend under anything. And you can put scissors and stitch marker. You can put like a ton of, this is bigger than any notion pocket. By the way, yes, I am in fact wearing a fancy antique sweater clasp with my overalls because that's how I roll. You weren't supposed to do that. Basically today, I look like a bag lady on Midsummer Murders. Not even. They would not even let me on that set. They're like, you really are too crazy for us even to play our bag lady. I am also wearing my Walpole sweater made of beaver slide dry goods. Insert laughter here. Out of their sport weight. I believe it's 2-ply, but I could totally be lying. This is did I say it's the Walpole by Hannah Fettig. It's in one of the Wool People issues. And it was totally gifted to me by Kathy02125. Thanks, Kathy. The pattern. And I made modifications to it this week. Bam! Now it has crazy, crazy Tula pink ribbon in it. Because this pattern is written to be knitted flat, it's like oversized and in sport weight. It's actually written for fingering weight. It's way oversized. That was like a billion stitches around. I steeked that bad boy. However, I made an error. And instead of steeking as I'm just talking so much, it's ridiculous. Instead of steeking as normal, I tried to steek it on my sewing machine, which was my old sewing machine, which was not very good. I've since realized that once my mother loaned me a good sewing machine, that sewing machine was terrible. Like I literally I was my own feed dog. Like I had to push everything through, which is really bad when you're trying to do a sweater. It stinks. Bad. So anyways, it was all gnarly and chewed up looking where I had done the steeking. It's pitiful. And so I would not wear it because the style of the sweater, like it does frequently flip open and around when you're wearing it. And I would not wear it because it looks so chewed up and disgusting. My phone is totally ringing. But anyway, it looks so terrible that I just couldn't bear it. But so I put the ribbon on. I'm not usually okay, I'm not usually a huge fan of ribbon in sweaters, but in this case, it's not a bad thing because this sweater would have, I think, the tendency to stretch way out for a very long front. And the ribbon just kind of helps to keep it from doing that because it already is longer in the front than it is in the back. Not by design, but by just the reality of it. So this kind of helps keep it in check. It makes me have secret owls, which makes me happy. And it's festive all around, right? It took forever to sew in, though. It's the reason it took me like a year to do it. Actually, it didn't take me a year, but I didn't buy the ribbon until like a month ago. I just had to look at it and be like, well, I figured out what to do with that. Okay, because I didn't want to actually have to sew the ribbon in. Okay, but now really, and I'm also wearing a sockhead hat. I can't remember who wrote that pattern, but it's free. You've seen a million of them. This is in Blue Moon Fiber Arts Lightweight Kapow Patina. And if you watch Knitting in Circles, yes. Amy, Froggy, Monkey, and I have twin hats. We share our first name, and we have twin hats. Just saying. Anyway. Okay, Rhinebeck. Okay, now what do I even say about Rhinebeck? Now that I've said 14 minutes of nothing. Oh, wait, I talked about prizes, so that was 14 minutes. I have a list. Do you see how ridiculous this list is? Whatever. That's how my brain works. What should I talk about first? Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to the people who are not watching this episode. But just so you know that there are awesome people in the world, thank you to all the people who, lodged us as we were going on our journey. I drove out. Well, I didn't drive out. I passengered out with Malia, rhymes with Maria, of the Yarn Raising, is that it right? Podcast, and Joanna Spring of the Knitspin Farm podcast, and Joanna Spring's partner, Bill. He drove. I offered. He said he wanted to drive. So we all rode out together, which was awesome. And then we proceeded to couch surf through New York. Mostly we floor surfed because there's 4 of us. We can't all fit on one couch. We're friends, but come on. So all of the people who let us couch surf or fed us along the way, thank you. They were all so nice. Don't you love it when you're just, again, not that I expected anybody to be like, all right, sleep over there and hush. But it's still surprising and wonderful when people are like, no, eat this food. And you're like, oh, thank you. Right. So exciting when people are nice and generous, because they always are. Speaking of nice and generous, Joanna, I was with the best car of people. I was clearly the outlier of uncoolness in that car. It's pitiful. It's pitiful. But anyway, so Joanna's like, oh, welcome to my car. Let's pretend it's my house because I have snacks and other good things for you. What? Joanna made homemade pumpkin whoopie pies. They were the best thing I ate for 4 days. I'm not even kidding you. Like, by far. Well, not by far, because Ponky made some great cookies, too. And those were very delicious. But come on, pumpkin whoopie pies does trump just about anything. Right? They were delicious. They were so good. So she's like, oh, yes. Oh, and then she had various snacks planned throughout the day. There were snacks stashed in the car all around us. I'm the most inconsiderate person in the world. I have no snacks stashed in my car for people. I stink. It's motherhood. It's ruined me. I only care for the welfare of one human, and evidently that makes me a terrible person otherwise. I'm blaming that. Anyway, here's my car of snacks. Welcome. Would you like to be a passenger in my car of snacks? Why, yes, I would. Thank you. And then Malia totally gifted me. Joanna gifted her, and then Malia gifted me. Oh, look, I got a project bag. Joanna's project bags are so my favorites. I love her project bags. But look, it's got a narwhal, a sleepy whale, and some otters, and some walleye. It's so happy. Joanna Spring makes excellent, because I love these. This is why. I love the cord lock, like the beautiful Tangerine Designs does, but I really super secretly, my favorite is this. I know a lot of you prefer the cord lock. I prefer the actual bias TP ties. They make me so happy. That is not to say that I don't love the Tangerine Designs bags, because I have one. There's foxes on it. What else is in here? Oh, just my program. So that was like Malia's like, oh, are you feeling bored? On the way home, are you feeling bored? Oh, I have a magic little thing filled with information and like salt and pepper. Well, salt and pepper. I don't think salt and pepper was actually on there, but it was equivalently awesome. An exciting history podcast with Southern people talking to you makes you so happy about Americana. What? Oh, do you need to know where to eat? I know all of the restaurants in New York. What? It was like I was on a tour bus, except that it was awesome. Right? Because the joy of the thought of the tour bus is that you just show up and then they make a vacation happen for you. You don't have to do any planning. It was like that, except instead of being on a tour bus, I was with my friends. What? I'm so stinking lucky. It's ridiculous. I was an awesome person in another life. I'm really slacking in this one. I need to pick it up. Really? Sorry, future self. You're sliding down a rung in karma. It was so awesome. I can't tell you how happy that made me. Again, it was awesome. Okay, I keep talking. Okay, so now should I just talk about the festival? I guess I should. I talked about that. Okay. So now I'll just do festival talk. The festival is awesome. That's all there is to it. Now, granted, the festival was awesome. There were a lot of humans there. It was kind of insane. Okay, it was really insane. There was so much stuff. I feel like I heard people talk about stuff they were getting, and I was like, I didn't see that. Did I miss like a whole barn somewhere? Because I hear them talking, be like, I don't even remember seeing that. What? I don't think I actually missed a barn, but I must have, because there was. So like really, I think that lovely Joanna said like maybe noon on the first day that she had reached saturation point. And then after that, really, our cups just continued to runneth over with yarn and people awesomeness. So really, at that point, it really became less about the yarn, because the yarn was just everywhere. It was like, am I thirsty? No, I'm in an ocean. Well, an ocean of fresh water. You know what I mean? Don't drink salt water. So it was like, the yarn was awesome and it was everywhere. So you were just like submerged in all of that goodness. So I think at that like pivotal point, the festival became less about the stuff and more about all of the insanely awesome people. For me anyway. Because like that point I was like, okay, now I'm good yarn wise. Like really, I think the first day my purchases all happened within like the first 25 minutes of being there. And then after that was just me being like, anytime it was about yarn. And the only time I got engagement was about people. Because people are so cool. I saw so many of your faces. It was so exciting. I'm not even kidding you. So thank you to everybody who said hello. I got to see a lot of you just walking around, and I saw some of you at the podcaster meetup, which was awesome. I think I was in the wrong place at the podcaster meetup, because I feel kind of like a jerk. But it was like on this hill, and there was no like sign. And so we came from the top of the hill, but evidently there were a bunch of people at the bottom of the hill. So please don't think I was trying to be a separatist. What would I be? I don't even know. But don't think that. I just like, but we were there, and then all of a sudden there were lots of people there, and then I didn't even realize that there were people in another place until it was over. Do you know what I mean? And then I had that like, oh my gosh, am I in the wrong place? But I'm not, because I got to talk to a lot of people. Maybe there were more people I should have been talking to. I don't even know if it's true. But it was so cool. I got to hug lots of your faces. Well, not your literal faces, but yourselves. Because that would be awkward. And it was awesome. I got to meet. Okay, so then let's talk about shopping integrated with people. Because maybe that'll work? No, it won't work. But anyway, so one of the first things, so our first goal was, and by the way, let me also say that I'm so happy for all of the vendors, because that place was insane. Insane. There were so many people in line for the Miss Babs line that it was like out the barn and around the block. And then there were people like in New Jersey still waiting. It was intense. Needless to say, I did not buy any Miss Babs. But then when I went by Miss Babs at the end of the festival, she still had tons of stuff. It was awesome. I didn't buy anything. It was so tempting. But really, settle. So, the Indiana contingent, we agreed before we got there, or when we got there, that one of our main goals was to go to Into the World. So I think that was our first with purpose directionness. After we like met up and did some stuff with people. So we decided that we were going to Into the World, because Into the World, Loop, Miss Babs, and somebody else were like all in the same row of the same building. How crazy is that? Maybe next year Rhinebeck needs to hire a how awesome is this stuff consultant, so that they can tell them like, don't put those three people in the same aisle. Okay, so I fell down really hard at the Into the World booth, but it was my first purchase, and I felt completely justified because I'm not in a club. So step off. Oh, by the way, this is me also saying, don't judge. If you feel judgy today, do you feel like a judgy McJudgy pants? Do you? Just acknowledge it. Sometimes I feel judgy. Do you feel judgy? If you feel judgy, you should turn this off. Unless you really want to be judgy, and then I can't control you. But I'm about to be judged, I feel. Oh, that's right. Wait, is there even, no, there's not one more. No, there couldn't be, right? Oh, there totally is. I knew there was. I'm not in a club. Any club. Bam. Wow, that like unintentionally was like perfectly aligned by color sampling. Yet another example of somebody who makes I look like I have anemia with this. My hair is so frizzy today. Yet another example of somebody who makes awesome stuff, but then is also super cute. Into the world. Stamp of approval. Even if she were a jerk, I would still, well, no, I gotta be honest. Even if she made this and she was a jerk, I would be like, But she's not, so I bought a lot. So this is the Bird Girl in Polworth. I'll just briefly go through them. Gorgeous. This is 11th Hour in BFL. Because also that stinking Malia I was with was working on hand-painted, hand-spun socks out of Into the World BFL. They're gorgeous. So now I'm spinning some Into the World that's older. Because I must make socks that are hand-spun. Because I clearly need to be that fancy. This one is the Kindred colorway. And it is in Superwash BFL. Super! I don't have anything that color, so I'm proud of myself. It's very beautiful. And then this is the Vampire of Venice in BFL. Why am I even showing you this? You can't add like 20% awesomeness. No. Add 45% awesomeness. Maybe 47. Okay, I have to go for camera. I was on my back. So this one, because it's so magical that it floats evidently. So this one is Bartleby, and it's gorgeous, and it is Rambouillet. Rambouillet. Oh. Because not only does she have everything that's beautiful colors, she has all of the bases that I love. She's like, no, not just merino silk. Oh, thank you. So there was that. Then as we were walking around, another place that I wanted to look at. There were 3 places that I knew I wanted to look at. And they were all like the spinneries that I loved when I was in college in Massachusetts. So I knew that I wanted to look at all 3 of those places. And I did indeed buy things from 2 of them. The third one was just too crazy. I couldn't get in there. I mean, I could, but it was just too much. So, but the main one I wanted was Bartlett yarns. I had a skein of Bartlett yarns, and I coveted it for at least 7 years, I'm going to say. At least, minimum. Because it was so beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean like not like silk and shiny and rainbow tails. I mean like it was this beautiful brown with like this gorgeous rosy and bluey fleck in it. It was so beautiful. And cloud-like and just, it was just like the sheeps of heaven or something. Because it was still sheepy. But maybe slightly, like I don't know if I would say magic sheepy because that implies like sparkles and rainbows. Like earthy magic sheepy. That's what it was. So anyway, I had this skein of yarn forever. And I did finally make an Elizabeth Zimmerman hat out of it, which I should have worn today. That would have been very cute of me, but I didn't. So when I saw their sign, I feel like I went like that and got very excited. So their booth was super crazy packed because that was still in the morning on Saturday. And again, it was in one of the 3 crazy barns. But I did elbow around. And I did see the exact yarn of my youth and love. Oh, and the other thing I want to say is Bartlett yarns used to not be available online. Now they are. Uh-oh, right? Uh-oh. But they used to not be available online. So I couldn't even get it. I couldn't get it anywhere. It's so sad. But now I have it. And I may have a lot of it. So they had a lot of skein yarn, like yarn and skeins, and I did see the magical skein of my youth. But then they also had some cones, and cones are such a good value that I can never stop. I can't help it. Some people have the cones, and it's like the rug yarn version of their yarn, not rug yarn, the weaving yarn version, and it has more of what essentially I guess we call sizing. There's something in it that stiffens it up. And the people I'm thinking mostly of are Hairful Designs. They sell their yarn in washed skeins, which is just their cone yarn but washed. Or they sell it on the cone primarily for weavers, but it's exactly the same yarn. So while you're knitting with it, it might be a little rougher, but then it's going to bloom up and be beautiful, and it's way cheaper in the cone. I mean, at least I think it's like 30% cheaper. I may be lying. Don't fact check me. But it's cheaper. If there was a price per ounce thing, you would know. So that's a lot to say that I bought this. So I got these two because this is sport weight, and this is 1,750 yards. So if you were a normal human, bam, you got a sweater in one cone, and I believe they were like $35. There's your sweater. Minerva Turkey had her was it Rambouillet? Maybe that wasn't Rambouillet. But she had her baby. I got a baby too. I said I have twins. Because I'm a big lady and I need more yarn for my sweater. This really would be enough yarn for a lot of sweaters for me, but the one I am making specifically is long sleeved and has cables. So I will not need both of these, but I need like 1 1/3. So that is the downfall of buying a cone yarn. Now, technically I could have just bought the cone and then found a sport weight skein, because they also sell their skeins, their sport weight and skeins. And I could have just found and then done that, and that would have been very economical. But come on, you're there. Buy it. You can make something else later. Right? So I went up to the counter with this. And then the very cute fellow behind the counter, who was the son of the owner, who had great customer service skills. The son, not so much the owner. She may have been just stressed out. I think she was stressed out. And their booth was set up there was too much stuff in the middle of the booth, so you could not navigate as easily. It was crazy. But anyway, so she was probably just stressed out. Excuse me. He was like, if you spend $8 more, you can have a tote bag. Now, normally I would be, thank you very much, sir, but no, this is what I want to buy, and I don't need a tote bag. However, in this case, I had asked Malia and Joanna if I should buy this cone or this cone. And they very wisely, and I knew that that's what they were going to tell me, to buy this one. But I really very much love this one. It just doesn't go as nicely with my skin. Like I have to be careful with anything with a yellow or beigey base, because I tend to get very washed out very easily. And this one is, I would say it's more gold than brown, but it's somewhere there. Okay? So you're like, so obviously I bought this one. Shush! So his saying that if I spent $8 more to get my tote bag really just allowed me to go back and get the one that I really also wanted. But I just got one cone thinking I would make a vest or a short sleeve sweater, because clearly that's less of that color and won't wash me out as much. I lied to myself. Whatever, I'm happy. I'm a good liar, evidently. And then, of course, I got my tote bag. Because they saw me coming. They were like, oh, please take all of our samples. And buy us from the internet. They also sell their roving, which they sell the roving that my magical hippie earthy magic-y yarn was made from. I might have to buy some of that roving. Actually, before that, I bought that. I'm not even doing my timeline correctly. But speaking of yarn I've always wanted and coveted, this episode really makes it sound like it was more about the yarn. And really, in the moment, it was not. I sound like a gluttonous pig. And I am. But I'm also a gluttonous pig for friendship. The more you know. But I am. And it was so fun to meet everybody. So this really does skew the perspective. But I can't talk about like all of the hugs I gave, because you would be like, please stop talking about that. Or like how I just got to sit in the tent and talk to people as I ate my pretzel, and that made me so happy. And then we sat and knitted and just looked. Because, man, part of me wishes I just didn't buy anything and I could just sit on a bench and watch everybody, because there's going to be people watching. So this is another spinnery of my heart and my youth. This is Green Mountain Spinnery. And I had this catalog. I ordered this catalog when I was when I was probably still in college. And the catalog is so beautiful for them, or at least it was 20 years ago, that I actually cut their catalog up and framed pictures from it. Because I was in college and I was poor. I would still do it now, because it was that pretty. But I never bought anything, because it was out of my league at that point. But I did buy one token skein this time. And this is their sock yarn. And it's by the way, it's a worker-owned cooperative. New England, you win. Period. This is a sock yarn. It is, and they're in Putney, Vermont. This is a 9 stitches per, okay, it's fingering, blah. It's hand wash. But I felt like it told me, oh, 75% wool, 30% tinsel. But it's not a super wash. Note to self. But anyway, it's this beautiful greenish gold weedy color that I may have a problem with. It's very similar to this. Oh, I have such a specific color palette. It's ridiculous. Ooh, then I also bought this. Look, it still has a New York leaf on it. Hi, New York. So it's so fun because on the way there, because Malia and Joanna are both from that area. Well, ish. They're both from New York State. So we got to talk about all of our regional differences, which is so fun. Talking about our mango thing from last week, right? It was similar. It was so much fun. So this is Gnome Spun, which Malia and Joanna both have used, but I have not used. So I had to buy it because, hi, it's in my color palette. I'm so boring. But I don't care. It's beautiful. And this is Tunis, I believe. It says on here. Yes, this is Tunis, and it's carded roving. Oh, look how beautiful it is. And Malia was actually wearing socks made out of Tunis that she had spun from Gnome Spun while we were buying it. Well, I was buying it. So she pushed me over the edge. Clearly her fault. Not at all. Then, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I can show this, right? Oh, I should look. No, I should not. But anyway, Stephanie from Entwined Stitches. Totally made me a crocheted. Sorry, focusing is terrible. I forgot there's no autofocus. This is stitch mark with an acorn. Isn't that cute? So that's Stephanie from the Intertwined Stitches podcast. Intertwined. Yay! We met so many great people. I met Kirby Werby. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Again, buy all of her yarn. I'm almost done with my socks made out of this fall, y'all. And it's wonderful yarn, and she is super stinking cute. If you need more of a Rhinebeck fix, you should totally watch Suburban Stitcher podcast. She has a Rhinebeck 1 and a Rhinebeck 2. They're all very cute, and they're having so much fun. Oh, Kirby Warby, you're so cute. Anyway, again, the cute people. I'm all like, oh, that's beautiful, but I don't need. And then they're cute. I'm like, oh my gosh, not gonna buy that. Oh, stink, stink, stink. Okay, so then as we were like done, I was walking around with Malia. We were trying to find something that specifically that Malia was wanting, like right before we left on Sunday. And this is why you should need to shop there with people that are awesome, because you don't even see stuff. I had never seen this. This is a naturally dyed self-striping, and it's just like a 2-stripe sock yarn, but it has a beautiful gray and a beautiful green. It's called Lily Pad, and it's from a place called Long Ridge Farm. And they sell these beautiful leather bags. So I had just seen the bags, and they were gorgeous, but I was not in the market to purchase a bag. So I just walked by. But then when you go with the other eyes, like Malia's, hone in on the yarn, because they had fiber, and she was looking for a certain kind of fiber. And then she finds this, and then you have to buy it. In fact, I think maybe we all bought it. Except Malia. That's how it is, isn't it? I think Laura and Melanie and I all bought it, and then, yeah, I think so. Anyway, it's gorgeous. And they had beautiful other colors. They had like a beautiful rusty red and like a taupe together that were gorgeous. But I got sucked in by the gray and the green. Because, hi. The show notes for this, I just don't know. I think maybe I will pass on doing show notes. Maybe I should just try to do them. I should just try to do them, right? They might be delayed. Also, oh my gosh, I bought so much stuff. Whatever, it's once a year. Maybe once in a lifetime. I don't know if I'll ever get to go back. Then I bought this. Oh my gosh. Shut up. This is by Windspun Yarn. This is Arboreal. Arboreal? Arboreal, that's right, isn't it? Anyway, they are a wind-powered fiber studio in Maine, right? Yeah, in Maine. Look, they had my palettes. I could have bought all the things. And they had these super cute hat kits that were sold in mason jars. Well, they weren't actually mason jars, but they were like big jellyish jars with lids on them. What? But they had all these gorgeous hats. So I had to get these to make something of unknown. Everything I bought, I knew what I was going to do with, except this. And then, okay, last thing, which is actually, that's not the first thing. This is the first thing I decided to buy, but it's not actually the first thing I bought. I bought this 8 ounces of pin draft Fin Sheep roving at Fin Sheep. Well, actually, at pointofviewfarm.net. And it is so soft, as you can see. Bam. So soft. I'm so excited about that one. Okay, so really, how ridiculous was that? I ended up talking a lot about stuff I bought. But it's like, again, it's hard to know the structure within which to talk about the awesome people. Oh my gosh, but then also, we totally got to see the Leaping Llamas contest. If you were ever in Rhinebeck, New York, at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, you must go see the Leaping Llamas contest. It is so awesome. Not even kidding you. Sleeping llamas. You're like, okay, that sounds nice. No. What it is it's like is that called steeplechase when the horses jump over the things? Anyway, it's like 2 poles that they're not this close together, but you know, you can imagine. Extrapolate. 2 poles, and then they have like a wibbly wobbly pole between them. Basically a very long pole of PVC, so it's like warbly. And the llamas have to jump, the llamas or alpacas, as the case may be, are led around the ring and they have to jump over it. Okay? That sounds relatively easy, right? Except that they don't want to jump over it. So, in order to get the animals to jump over it, the people must jump over it. Or at least try to do so. So they make a round with the bar at the bottom and they leave. And then whoever, you know, if the animal kicks the thing and knocks it over, then they're out. Sorry. And they just keep raising the bar as the contest goes on. It's amazing because you have adults out there, and adults, I love your faces, but you're not nearly as cute as the kids, except when you're a older lady adult and you very cutely jump over that thing because that's so cute. But most of the kids are super cute because they're very, like, they have their game faces on. They're like, I'm here with my 4-H club or my parents' farm. I'm ready to rumble. It was like, I thought any minute there was going to be a gang fight. It was awesome. So the kids and the people, they run around the thing and then they try to, you know, again, you get your animal to jump over the bar. But as the bar gets progressively higher, shenanigans happen, right? So, like, as the bar gets higher, some kids, like, or some people actually try to jump over the bar but then can't, which is awesome. Sometimes young boys who are maybe 6 years old, but still smaller than my child, very young, he was running with his, I think he had an alpaca, or maybe it was just a tiny llama, whatever. He's running with his animal, but his animal totally outpaces him. So the animal is just like, yeah, let's go, I know what to do. The animal jumps over the thing, and then the boy tries to also leap over the thing, but wipes out, just like face first into the straw, lets go of the leash thing for the alpaca. The dad has to run after it. It was awesome. There was a very cute girl who I believe was his sister. No, that was a different girl. But anyway, she's wearing her girl power t-shirt while she's jumping her llama across the thing. Awesome thing where the llama like gets up to the bar, the person jumps over it, or anyway, this person's on the other side of the bar. The llama gets up to it, and the bar's like up to here on the llama. And the llama literally just like picks up its hoof and is like, poof, it just knocks the bar down. And you just hear the internal monologue of the llama like, dude, you could just do that. So you get some sassy llamas. Anyway, it was so awesome. And everybody else knew it was awesome too because that place was packed. There were people like looking in from the outside to see the awesomeness. It was 100% great. 100%. What was anything bad about the festival? That it was not a month long. There's nothing bad about Definitely the only thing bad about it is it's not a month long. Because if it had been a month long, we could have had pretend knitting hippie commune for a month and we could have all talked more. That would have been awesome. I get to talk to some of you, but not nearly enough. I didn't get to sit and eat pretzels with all of you. That was a total disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. But it was totally cool. And I just want to say big thank yous, and I don't want to get all goofy right now because I feel like I'm about to. I just want to say big thank yous because I would have never gotten to go to that if it hadn't been for the podcast and for all of your generous faces. I would have never known the people to go with. And then even if for some miracle I had gone, I would have just like kept my head down and you would never know it from me. Because when I meet you, I'm, or when I'm on this, it's like kind of like, it's that face. You get multiple faces. It's not scary. You don't need medication. But you're not the same person at home watching TV as you are like out in the world, right? So like when I'm around people that I could interact with, then I get really animated and it's very exciting. But normally if I were to go something like that by myself and I didn't know anybody, I would just be like, and then I would walk through all of the barns like this, looking side to side. And I would go very quickly. And all of the people would make me claustrophobic and I probably wouldn't buy anything. And I would leave. And that's what it would be. But now it's not like that. So I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful that all of you are so kind and engaging and welcoming. That's what I'm grateful for. It's pretty awesome. So thank you very much. Even if you weren't there, I know if you were there, you would be kind and welcoming, engaging. So it was really awesome. I got to meet a lot of awesome faces. I got to re-meet a lot of awesome faces. Generally, all around 100%, 110% awesome. Easily. So next week, I will have a regular show in which I will talk about knitting and spinning, blah, blah, blah. In which I won't just show you 9 million products. I did not even go into that food barn because I was like, I'm going to spend $100 on cheese by accident. Right? So I will talk to you actually about knitting and spinning because I have some to talk about. And yeah, I think that's all. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.